you don't say or do anything. If I start cracking up, they're going to
Oh my God. You are. About what?
Get rid of that coach.
Tana's been knows what's the can't drink.
You're ready to call this meeting to order?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Giorgio, Tiny, Leach, Thompson, Young, Zimmerman, Lambert here. Yes. From last month's recognition, Caitlin Ellis, you come up, student of the month. Caitlin is a cheerful and cooperative young lady. She works independently and takes pride in the work she presents. She demonstrates a conscientious attitude and a willingness to put forth effort every day in her work. Her positive attitude has become a role model for our class. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Is Lily here? Lily, come on out. Liz, no. The token the students are getting is a $20 Barnes & Noble gift card. So we want to encourage them to read and to get some books and to keep doing the kind of work they're doing that gets them up here. Lily is an outstanding student. She gives 100% in everything she does. Lily is helpful and caring to all of her peers, and I appreciate having her in my class. Thank you very much. Mateo? All right. Mateo has shown excellent growth this quarter. He is self-motivated and takes his learning very seriously. He puts 100% effort into all he does. Mateo works well with his peers and exhibits patience and kindness when working and playing with them. I'm so proud of you, Mateo, and so pleased you are in my second grade class. I'm looking for Zach. Zach is a very pleasant person. It is great to see him in the hallway because he always has a smile on his face. Zach is an extremely hard worker in class. He always participates in the discussions and is a role model for others in his section. In addition, even in lunch, he's responsible and helps clean up after himself and others. We appreciate having him. Kalina? Kalina always puts effort into her artwork. When I ask her to do a job, she is always willing to do it. She helps with student council activities even though she isn't on student council. We appreciate your hard work and participation. We had one other one. The staff at Westfield had thought that we do this recognition of students and that it was a good thing to do, but that as part of the celebration we should be looking at an employee as well. And so they asked us to begin looking at recognizing an employee. And so the first one we'll do this month, and it's Jim Deal. Jim is the new custodian that we have, and I'll read you a little bit about Jim. He's not here tonight. We'll make sure we remind him again tomorrow. In the short time Jim has been with us, he has aggressively tackled some of the most difficult repair jobs in the district. And in the last 2 years, Jim completely redid 2 of the restrooms at Westfield, tore out the urinals, went back in, got the plumbing, tore that out, and then even had some of his friends come in and roto-root the plumbing because the plumbing was so bad, and didn't get us charged for that. So it's a lot of expensive work that he did that we would have had to hire done. He did 3 pieces of roof work at Westfield and some roof work over here. And so he's been a real addition to the staff, very positive and very enjoyable to have here. So we'll make sure we recognize Jim Deal this month.
Okay, at this point, anybody that has small children, if you'd like, we understand if you'd like to leave, that's fine. If you'd like to stay, we're more than happy to have you be here too.
Yes, thank you for coming out. And keep working with people. They're helping us. They make our job a lot easier. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you back yet? Oh, you know it?
Oh, you're taking a picture? You're taking a picture?
Okay, this time we'll open the floor for public comments and questions. I have one here, Sean DeBowie.
Sure, I had 2 semi-comments and questions. The first one is, I wanted to find out from the board in regards to a matter that I feel has been falling out of focus as of late. When the community was brought together, several meetings occurred about eliminating buses or larger classroom sizes. Obviously, the decision was made with the buses. So why is it that the classroom sizes, specifically 8th grade, are so large and continuing to grow? We learned last month with the numbers that were shared that we're doing fairly good in comparison with the budget, that the state had sent in 2 payments that we were waiting on. So this should be being used towards the betterment of the education. I've always been a proponent of the schools and think that we don't want to sacrifice the product for some of the things that are going on. And as I've been sitting in the meetings, I hear more about the petty little small bills than this large thing such as class sizes. And I think it's something that it's the board's responsibility to keep a track of. 35 plus in a classroom is too much for one teacher. It's sacrificing the 35 kids in that room getting a quality education, which is what we've strived ourselves on in this district. And I think the board should be more active in finding out, what size the classes are and what they're going to do from a teacher perspective before it's being brought up by the public. Just makes it, to me, appear as if it's a more proactive approach than a reactive approach. My second question is more of the comment. I come to the meetings and I hear other people address the board and ask questions that I myself would like to know the answers to, and often it's, we're going to get back to you, and certainly you're not going to have all the information at your hand at every question. But it seems the only person that's getting the information is the commenter, and I'm wondering if that information could be put maybe separately on the district site, aside from the meeting minutes, that public comments could be another item with the responses that were sent out so that people could see the back and forth communication. Because really, it seems as if unless you come and spend the time in these meetings and ask questions, you don't get information. It's all being done, obviously you guys are working hard and spending a lot of time to get things figured out, but nobody's seeing that. We're seeing 2 hours, 3 hours in these meetings, and that's all you're getting credit for. Versus if some of this information was a bit more accessible, it might deter all the questions that are coming around.
And for both of those, the board, we do make them aware, and we give them information regularly on class sizes. Mm-hmm. And before the meeting today, we had a meeting with some of the staff going through the idea of the 36 students in each of the 8th grade classes. So the board is aware, and it is a concern, and it is something we do worry about. When we did the budget this year, the budget shows us right now, if everything goes right, we'll have $9,000 left at the end of the year. What we're saying is last year, we spent more money than we generated because we were waiting to have the referendum. And so we weren't going to make the cuts, the transportation and class sizes, until the community told us that that's how they wanted us to resolve it. So then last year, the budget was worse than this year because we knew we were spending more money than we were getting. We were in the hole. This year, the budget's much better, and we're right on target to probably be in a $6 million budget, $9,000. You know, we're right even. So there isn't a lot of money. That there isn't money really to just, if we've got problems, to say, well, we'll solve that by doing this. We are looking at that, and we continue to look at it. The piece you said, I think it's a real good idea, and I'll look at the idea of trying to answer those questions and see if there's a way we can just put that information on our website and have that out. I think that would be helpful to other people as well, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
And I'll look into it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just, Mr. DeBuy, I wanted to comment on the class sizes.
Yeah.
When the two options were given, one of them was larger class sizes and the loss of buses, or a shorter school day and retain the buses and the small classes. And just a comment, but I was recently at a family event and I was given a 1967 kindergarten picture of me in my, well, I know I'm dating myself, but the bottom line is our kindergarten class had 36 students in it. We had one school teacher, no aides, and when our school graduated 8th grade, we were at sophomore level physical science. So I think that we are very fortunate to be in a time when class sizes are smaller, but if you look back over the years, class sizes weren't always small. And
I certainly appreciate your comment, but history doesn't always make things right. It just means that it happened.
Right.
It doesn't mean it should continue to
But
happen.
it
We want to
happened
evolve
and
for better.
It happened and it worked.
Yeah.
With
But it can
success.
happen and fail too. We don't want to
Yeah.
go through the experience of
I agree.
failure to find that out.
Second comment is we've been asking for, I know that there's a few board members and myself included have been asking to work on the website, and I think that we're doing that. We'd like to have a forum on the website so that there could be a back and forth between the board and the community, an open forum. You know, it would be monitored by the school district and by the administration. But yes, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I'll leave the
These
board to
questions.
make the decision on how it is. I don't know that open is exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, that's exactly
I
what I'm
agree though
saying.
with the answers to the questions. On the
Yeah.
ones we can't get back to you on in open session, I wholeheartedly agree that more than one person wants to know the answer.
Right.
The part to me is if it's personal. So if there's some information and if it's personal, it's related to the person, then that part I wouldn't be able to do. So there'd end up having to be like two letters, right? The one that goes to you, and then the one that would answer the part that I can answer. So there's sometimes some of the stuff I can't do, but I can do other parts of it for sure. Because
Whichever
really
of the
it's
questions, yeah, there should be a reason why we
Yeah.
something like that.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Anybody else? Pat?
Sorry, I didn't fill out a form because I was meeting with you. I just want to say, and we did just meet, I'm Pat Wallace, I'm one of the 8th grade teachers, and I also teach the 5th, 6th split class. That's another major concern we have right now. We did meet with both the president and Dr. Geiser, and we discussed that in order to get another teacher, we're going to need to find the money in the budget. And they asked the teachers to help work with the administration to try to find money in the budget. And I would encourage, if possible, even people like you, Mr. Voigt, if you could come up with a way, if you see the budget online, if you think of something that will help, not the little things, we need big things, because we need to come up with.
It's in the range for a half a year for a teacher, because that's what we would end up doing. It'd be in the range of $20,000 is what we would be looking at. And that's why I said, if everything goes well, at the end, I'll have $9,000 left. Well, that's not even enough. And if we end up doing that this year, then we say to next year's group, now we've got to cut somebody else because we spent more money than we had last year. So we've got to find a way to do less of some of the stuff we're doing to make it work. And that's what we're going to be working on.
And we did set that we would discuss it again before the next board meeting, but unless we actually have time to look, and go through the figures, we're going to come back to the next board meeting with, we got nothing done. So I would encourage and ask any of the board members to work with us. I guarantee that I don't have a life. I will be here. The only life I have is working in my classroom. I worked until 6:30 tonight. I will be down there working, so if you ever want to come in and help me go through the budget, because I'm not a budget person. I am a math person, but I'm not a budget person. If you saw my checkbook, you'd understand that. So, you know, any way we can do it, we really, really need another 8th grade teacher, and that's why, or actually we want the 5-6 teacher. We don't want an 8th grade teacher, we want the 5-6 teacher. That's why the staff showed up tonight, and they were here to support us because we're here to support the kids. We can handle it as teachers, but the kids are the ones that are losing out, and we want them to have the education they deserve. 36 kids in the classroom, absolutely I can handle it. Is it the best for the kids? Absolutely not. When you went to school, parents took care of their kids and made sure their kids did their homework. I hate to say it, but that's not the way it is now. It's not. Maybe you do, and I'm not saying that all of them don't, but it's a totally different atmosphere now than when we went to school. Our parents were a lot stricter and things were different. So now when we're in the classroom, we see a lot more problems that we didn't have when there were 36 of us in kindergarten.
I have a question about that.
Right.
When a school teacher is seeing that the children are coming in and they're not being assisted by their parents, can this be reported? I mean,
nothing. We have to do. Reality is that all of your children are going to learn, and they're not getting the support they used to get, and you have to provide it. So your job as a teacher becomes the teacher part, and then the parent part they're not getting, or you finding someone to do the parent part for them. So it isn't. It is a function, as Pat says, of today's world. And if we want them all to learn, then the fact that they're not getting it means we have to find more for them.
it just seems to me that Winthrop Harbor has a lot of parents that really are engaged in
and they have, it's a very mixed community where you have many who understand and appreciate the power of an education, and you have a lot of others that really don't understand how important and significant it is. And so the ones who really understand that their children will have many more opportunities in life if they have that education, they're there for us. And the ones who don't really know that it's that critical, when the kids don't do it, they think, well, he's just a kid, he'll be all right, because they don't know that's the difference between haves and have-nots in today's world, is skill sets. So if we're going to get them there, we have to do it. And Pat, and we talked with the group, we'll have Ted and probably Dan meet with you guys sometime at a staff meeting and look over some of the possible suggestions for the budget and some of the places that we can find some of those things.
If I just one more second for another comment. You know, again, cuts are extremely important. Everyone wants to watch the efficiency of the budget and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you know, there's cuts and there's also revenue streams. I mean, I know that you have your major revenue through the state and local taxes and whatnot. But you know, what about self-generated revenue? I look at, like when I walk in, I just commented today that when the school was built, the bricks were sold to help with funding of the school. Yeah. There's bricks still out there. Maybe parents would like a brass plate on a brick that says that they supported the school, that could help generate revenue, something that could be rotated to help with generating revenue.
PTO is always looking at that, and really, if you look at the technology we have at Westfield to a great degree, and we have a number of iPads and stuff in, but it's the Technotrot, and it's the teachers themselves have taken that for, I'm thinking 2 years or maybe 3 years, and generated probably $10,000, $15,000 a year to put stuff in for the TVs in their classroom and all of that. So we do.
And that's the information I think that if the public knew, you know, the need for it. Yeah. I don't know that people are going to jump out of their seat to just give out money, especially with the economy, but if the public knew that this board was trying to find $10,000 specifically towards hiring another teacher, maybe they'd be a little bit more open with their pocket to do that, since it's affecting their kids. You know, so just, I mean, you hear about, it's always kind of one-sided. I'd like to hear both sides. So, and I think it's beneficial for you guys, for the more information that goes back to, you know, me as a community member, as community members. I think that's a lot more supportive towards the challenges you guys are facing. So.
Good, thank you.
All right.
Okay, at this time we're going to close the floor for public comments and questions, and we have a couple of presentations. First one